Here again, I pulled the clip off with the pliers that I had showed you earlier. Right, remember these things? Now, worthy of noting, see if you can see that. On these clips, I'm trying to make it focus. Often, there is a part that's, it won't focus, but that's higher on the top and lower. The part that curves up like that always goes towards the top. Often people will put these on in reverse, where the pointed part is facing down. You always want the pointy part to face up like that so it can grab, if that makes any sense. I've already punched out the pin, and it promptly fell down into the transmission. So if that happens to you, always remember, never put anything back together and say, oh shit, I can't find it. Oh well, I did that once, and a key fell into first gear on a T56, bent the tooth and everything. Now this seems to be a very slight press fit, very slight, like I said. So I didn't want to use the electric impact on there. It's coming right off real easy. That's it. Okay. In fact, there's no more pressure on that, I don't think. Okay, we're good. Also, in order to get this speedometer off, you have to tap this up. There's some kind of washer. I put a punch underneath and just started tapping it up, and it's coming off. But like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to replace all the synchros or not, and that looks like that'll come out with the case will slide right over that. So I'm just going to leave that be until later if I decide I'm going to disassemble it down further than that. Come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's a two-handed trick. Shit, it's falling apart, right? Okay, we got the synchro in there, and the keepers and the keys. So you just, all right, it's all going to come out as one. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you want to take everything as it comes apart and drop it. Right, just kidding. Put it just how it came apart, so you know how everything goes on. Now this is a carbon fiber synchro. Okay. Anyway, these keys, you don't want them to pop out. Shit. That's just not a big deal. Okay, I have put it, I'm going to put it someplace safer than this. Alright, but an exact order that everything came off. And that'll help you from getting confused when you put everything together. Alright. And I'll put that in a safe spot. I'll have to make a safe spot. Okay, I think there's a washer, indeed. This goes on the very bottom. So what I'm going to do, right, bingo. Okay, now it gets a little easier from here. We're going to punch all these out. Punch that out. Like I said earlier, punch that one out. Punch that one out. Pull that plastic thing off. Punch that one out. The light's not on anymore, that's why I can't see jack. Once that's all apart, I forget if this has to come off or not. I'll tackle that when I get there. Here we go again. Okay, for the ease of filming, I have removed all the detent pins. Is this thing going to focus? There we go. Okay, like I said, out of all those holes earlier, they're all the same size. Remember, I did drop one in the trans. I'll be getting that later. I left this one on because I suspect that I can pull this rod right out without even removing that. Okay, here's another small thing that you don't want to miss. There's a little ball right there, check ball. That's what that washer that fit over the top, it checks in there. Don't lose that ball. Pull that out with a magnet. Okay, so now that I have pulled everything apart, I know how it's going to go back together. In theory, okay. All right, now. Come on, you piece of crap. Whatever. That would be it shifting. Okay. Basically, I need two hands, so I'm going to remove those and come back. Okay, some of the debris had worked itself in here. As you can see, I'm going to have to flat file that. And made this a complete bear to remove. Whatever. So those are off. I'm going to pull this now. See what size fits that. 1/2 inch fits perfect. This is where it gets tricky now. Be careful. I still haven't removed that. Just come and take a picture for myself to remember that goes there. I'll do that off camera. But, fucking, I'll remember. Bam. Okay. Now, I'm going to remove those bolts. Might be able to do it on camera. Yeah, I'll be right back. This is where it gets extremely tricky, and I screwed it up on my first build. I had to go to the shop, and luckily they had a parts transmission. Carefully lift that off. Okay. Underneath here, you're going to see 3 pins. Let me get something to point with. Okay. Didn't know these were here the first time and they went flying. Okay. There's one right here. See if I can focus better than that. I'm shooting this not with my video camera, but with my cell phone. Okay. Right here, you can see that. Right here, you can see that. And there actually is one more pin that you cannot see that goes inside this actual shift rail. It goes right through the center of it. Let's see if I can find that for you. I'll have to do that off camera. You have to take my word for it, but hold on, I'm trying to pry up here. Walk and chew bubble gum. I think I say that every build. Okay, come on, baby. Stupid little piece of junk. I'm going to have to bust out my smaller magnet. The magnet should pop this right out. I just don't know where my real small one is. Okay, I stood it up. Actually, I just pulled up on the lever. And, it should, in theory, come right out now. See? Okay, we can see the other one now. There's 2 of them there. I'll get you a good angle. Bam. Okay, there's that one right there going right to the center of it. Okay, you should get a pretty good shot at it. I got a screwdriver coming. That one right there, I just moved it. Okay, that one here, and then the one right on the other side where my magnet's at. They look just like little bullets. Alright. Once you remove those, you're basically almost home free to get the case. Flipped it over, pulled the last 2 bolts out, and I just used the hammer and started lightly tapping on all the different places around the case. And we're ready to come off now. Okay? I did get the indent, whatever, the indent. No, that's not what they're called. Whatever. Those little stupid keys right out. There are 3 of them. I got those out. I'm going to leave that in. That doesn't have to come out. I got the little check ball out of there. Should, in theory, slide right up. I will do it off camera because I need both hands. Yeah, I remember what's going on now. You're going to need a little pick like this also, or a screwdriver or something. This little bearing has to come up with the transmission at the same time. And you kind of have to hold it and raise, otherwise it's not going to come up. And you can kind of see how it's not even seated right now. So you have to pull up on the case while pulling up the bearing too, and it'll all slide off. You can see the bearing wants to come up. It just won't come up evenly. I've been tapping around the case. I'm probably just going to have to work on this for a while until it comes out. This is a really stupid design. I really hate this transmission. I'll have to go back in there and edit that. Okay. Came off. Lots and lots and lots of damage. Well, I'm trying to find the damage. It might all be to the input shaft. I expected the cluster shaft to be very worn. So that's what we're looking like with it off. Now the next step is to pull those out. Okay, I'm going to stop this for now. This off. So I don't know how far ahead I jumped. Well, here's what happened. Basically, it was a bitch to get off. Now, sometimes you kind of have to hold this in place as you're pulling it. You can hold it in place with a pick, and you kind of hold that in place up there as you pull up on the tail housing. I'm sorry, up on the case. Now, in my case, I was budged on this damn shift lever that I showed you before, had wear on it, and it was hanging up, okay, and it was a bear to get the case off. But anyway, I did. Now I took these off next, okay, and those are T40 Torx bit, okay. Now, if you look inside, let me get a flashlight here. Okay, if you look inside the holes, you'll see springs. Okay, so what you want to do, these indents are what hold the shift levers in place, right? Okay, so pull the springs out, one in each hole. Okay, one more. You're not done yet though. Okay, we'll put these down. Okay, now sometimes these don't come out, but there is a cup inside here that comes out next. I got the flashlight in my mouth, so if I sound a little funny, of course I got a retarded magnet. That's just great. We need a different magnet. I got another one laying around here somewhere. Kind of hard to tell, but deep inside here, you can kind of see it a little bit. So it's a cup that you have to go in there with the magnet and pull. So anyway, you get those out. Let me see if I can get it with a screwdriver. Yep. See it? Okay, see if I can get this next one here. Okay. Last one. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now you got those out. This isn't just going to come out. I believe you gotta. This transmission is so stupid complicated for what it is. Drive the pins out. Here. Okay, here. And then here. As soon as we drive those pins out, then everything should come loose. I found the source of our wear. Let's see if we can see this here. Deep down inside there. Focus. See, I thought it was the whole input shaft teeth and everything, but I'm beginning to think the input shaft teeth are fine. This is just a stupid phone. Come on, you piece of crap. Well, when I get it disassembled further, I'll show you. But down there, you can kind of see, even through the lack of... There it is. Completely grinding up that plate. The top of the bell housing, the input shaft bearing apparently went bad. 3 pins on all 3 forks, and then after that, the actual rail will just slide up. I've slid it up just a little bit, just to kind of show you what's going on here, and that's kind of what the indents or dedents go into. All right, so basically, we're just going to go ahead and pull these out now. I don't want to mix them up. I'm sure I will, but so we'll keep them in the order that they came out of. Okay, I'll put these in a better spot later. I'm going to line them up 1, 2, 3 from left to right. Orientate them the same direction. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Okay. My safe little clean working bench. Right? All right. Not a problem. So we examine now the plastic shift fork tabs. These are one of the upgrades that you should be able to get, are the brass ones. Right? But I mean, these look alright. Okay. They don't look too bad. They're not broken or anything. Alright. Now, he did have some fourth gear problem after he screwed it all up. Let's see if we can get this thing out. I can't get the goddamn shift fork out. That's alright. I'm going to remove this bearing. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, so I'm going to pull them apart, like physically pull them apart and just lift them out. It should be that easy. It was that easy. Alright, this shift fork is not damaged either. So our shift forks are all good. Alright, now here's where we check for wear. Remember that horrible grinding sound we had? I suspected initially it was the cluster and input. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to look on the face of the teeth for wear. You can see a little bit of wear there, but here's the big thing. How badly is it worn? You can actually hold a screwdriver and you can use it to feel. Okay, so let me see if I get the focus any better. Light is not optional. There we go. So anyway, despite there being a little bit of wear here, the actual cluster shaft looks like it might be reusable. I don't see a compelling reason to replace it. Now, if you look at all the crap, you also got to inspect what's left over when you pull it. All of this stuff is all aluminum wear. All of it. I'll show you why in just a second. I don't see any actual steel-colored shavings. So, here's the fun part. This simply lifted right out. Again, I'm looking at the face of the teeth for wear. You're also going to want to check on the dog teeth, which are these. Every gear has them. Okay. Those and those. You want nice little, very sharp, pointed teeth. Okay. You don't want any stupid looking teeth. Let me show you an example from this is a second gear from a T5. It's moderately worn. I've seen a lot worse. Let's see, but the dog teeth are going to be basically the same thing. This phone has got to be the worst thing in the world to focus. You can kind of see it now. There you go. See how there's a lot of wear on the tips there? So, those dog teeth here, you want to make sure they're nice and sharp. Now, you can have some wear. They say up to 30% of the tooth can be worn back in a lot of the manuals. But this shaft actually looks pretty good. I might not even disassemble it. The synchros, you can see them in between here. There's one, you know, right here, and then here, there's another one. Okay, now I'm looking at the bottom here. The bearing, input shaft bearing surface seems alright. There are some rough edges right here that concern me. I might be able to just file that down though. This doesn't look too bad. Wow, there's just stuff tore up everywhere. Some kind of bearing race in the bottom or whatever. Okay. I look inside here. One of the keys, the springs are missing. See right here? There's a little spring in the key. That's fallen out. He had mentioned it wasn't shifting in a fourth. That would certainly do it. This is the fourth gear slider. 3, 4. Okay, now I'm looking down inside here. Where the? Oh, here's our little keeper down here. Got to find the spring. God damn, this thing is messed up. Okay. Here's part of what's also screwed up. So it's pretty crispy. Where'd the hell did that bearing go? Did it just disintegrate? It couldn't have, because the input shaft would have been torn up. I'm probably going to replace those anyway. There should be 2 more there. It's just not even there. Okay, synchro. I'm probably going to replace that because he was having... That's the 4th gear. Sorry, I got the flashlight in my mouth. That's the 4th gear synchro. He was having issues. Here we go. Anyway. Oh. Do you see some bad scoring here? Woo! Here's part of the gold. When you saw it drained. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. That's all worn. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to replace that whole damn input shaft. I'll compare it to another input shaft because there's a big groove going down in here and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be worn down like that. Alright, here it goes. Jesus. I'm just dropping parts. Oh my god. Woo! Friends, that is the bearing. That is a good one. This is the best one I've ever pulled out. Holy mackerel. Damn, those are bearings. See if I can get a better shot of that. Completely annihilated, melted bearings. That is fantastic. Like I said, this unit was run dry. I'm surprised it didn't have more damage. The bearing race is messed up. The case is messed up. Or the bell housing. I'm probably going to get a whole new bell. You see all that's worn right there? That's a judgment call. I might take it to the place that supplies my parts and ask them if I should replace that or not. So anyway, here's my little deal, but I didn't find the spring, so probably gonna have to get another one of those. It's not in the bottom here. Anyhow, shit, dropping everything everywhere. That is disassembly, my friends. And so we have to figure out what parts we're going to replace. Said I probably might not even touch that whole main shaft. The parts for sure that I'm going to have to replace are probably the bottom, the bell housing here. The teeth look a little rough. They don't look super bad, though. I don't like the discoloration on there, though. I'll take that in and have it looked at by the place I get parts at. And we'll come back on reassembly.